Welcome, friends. Thank you for subscribing and liking my videos. I do appreciate it. Today I'm going to do a walk and talk. Looks like one of my neighbors is moving in today. That home over there was for sale. It was recently sold, and now they're moving in. They hired a moving company to move into the new home. That is a used patio villa. That patio villa was for sale, and it was recently sold a couple of months ago. Good, how are you? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes, sir. 100-degree weather.
Yeah, it's a heat index of 110, right? So this is the company that particular individual decided to use. But it's typical that villagers will move in and out of here throughout the course of a year. This is a patio villa neighborhood here in the village of Bonnybrook. Look at the beautiful landscaping here at this patio villa. Really nice. You can see it was a warm day today, as the moving individual just said. I think it was 95, maybe 100-degree heat index today. Very warm day here in the villages. I did read some of the village's news. And like I was saying on my other video with the lightning storms, there was a lightning strike on a home a few days ago. And caused some damage. I can talk to you about the roads. In these patio villa neighborhoods, the roads are maintained by the villages. So the roads in the patio villa neighborhoods and the courtyard villa neighborhoods are maintained by the villages. And they do a very good job of maintaining these roads. I think every 5 years they resurface them. Essentially they put like a tar oil mixture down on them, and they essentially seal them every 5 years. And every, I think, 15 or 20 years, you can check with the villages, every 15 or 20 years, the villages does what they call a rejuvenation on these roads. That's where they scrape off the top 2 inches or so of the road, and they essentially lay a new surface over the top. And they do that every, I believe it's 15 or 20 years. Again, that's only in the patio villa and courtyard villa neighborhoods, where the villages maintains the roads. The other roads in the villages are maintained by the county. The villages does lie in 3 counties, depending on where you live in the villages. Here's a good a dead giveaway of the roads that the villages maintains. They usually will have a storm sewer drain right in the middle of the road like that. These are typical in the courtyard and patio villa neighborhoods. Today is Monday. They're putting their garbage out for Tuesday morning pickup. So these roads are maintained by the villages in the patio villa and courtyard villa neighborhoods. The other roads are maintained by the county, and the villages essentially lies within 3 counties. Marion County to the north, that's in the northern part of the Villages. Sumter County is the middle and mid-southern part of the Villages. Most of the Villages lies in Sumter County. And the newest part of the Villages, way in the south, some of those neighborhoods lie in Lake County, Florida. So in the north, you have Marion County. In the middle and mid-south region, it's Sumter County. And in the very southern regions of the Villages, it's Lake County. And it's important, if you do buy a home, that you know what the tax rates are in each one of those counties, because I do know that property tax rates in Lake County, in the southern part of the Villages, are higher than the tax rates in Sumter County. So I think part of the discussion you should have when you buy a home in the Villages is, where is that home located, what county it's in, and what is the tax rate in those counties? Because there are large differences in property tax rates between Lake County, Sumter County, and Marion County. So I was discussing some of these streets, some of the main roads that are not located in a patio villa or courtyard villa neighborhood. Those roads are maintained by the county that they're in. So most of the Villages lies within Sumter County, and most of the roads that lie within the Villages are maintained by Sumter County. The only roads not maintained by the county are these patio villa and courtyard villa areas, the roads that have the grates, storm sewer drains in the middle. I think the Villages does a very good job of maintaining these roads. I also think that the respective counties do a very good job of maintaining the roads. So for instance, Buena Vista Boulevard is a main road. That would be maintained by the county that it's in. I believe Buena Vista County. Buena Vista Road runs through all 3 counties. It starts in the north in Marion County. It runs through Sumter County. And I believe it goes down into Lake County. I'm not sure. Check your map. So that's an example of a road that's maintained by the county. It would be like Buena Vista Boulevard, Morse Boulevard. So most of the roads in your designer neighborhoods are maintained by the county that you're in, that those homes are in. And the roads that are in the courtyard and patio villa neighborhoods, no matter what county they're in, those roads will be maintained by the Villages. And that is part of your, not amenity fee, it is part of the fees that show up on your property tax bill. And we can talk about that as well. So no matter what county you live, you will have non-ad valorem fees that show up on your property tax bill at the end of the year. If there's a bond on your house, that bond, your annual bond fee will show up as a non-ad valorem item on your property tax bill. It's a separate line item. You also find a separate charge on that property tax bill. And that separate charge is to maintain the common areas of the Villages, i.e. roads that are located in patio villa and courtyard villa neighborhoods. So I thought I'd do a short walk and talk today kind of talk about the roads, how they're maintained, who maintains them. And that also brings up the discussion of the fees that the villages does collect. Actually, those fees are collected by the respective county, and it's charged to those residents within that county. So when you buy a home in the villages, you do have several fees you have to consider. One is the amenity fee. And right now, the current amenity fee is $195 a month. So if you buy a home, whether it's a new home or a used home, they will charge you $195 a month for the amenities. And that is really to maintain your swimming pools, your tennis courts, your golf courses, actually your executive golf courses. That's the amenity fee. If your home has a bond, the bond essentially is a charge for the infrastructure. When the developer develops this community, they put in roads and sewers and storm sewers, that sort of thing. That infrastructure cost is charged to each home through a bond. That bond is typically amortized over 30 years. And you pay a charge which shows up on your property tax bill every year for 30 years until that bond is paid off. Again, that bond is for the infrastructure to build these communities, put the roads in, sewers in. And then there's the common area charge that shows up as a separate line item on your property tax bill. That common area charge is a non-ad valorem fee. Essentially, non-ad valorem charges on your property tax bill from the county essentially are charges that are not imposed by the county. They're just pass-through charges that are imposed by the villages. So your bond is a non-ad valorem fee, and those common area charges are also non-ad valorem fees. They're separate line items on your property tax bill. I know that confuses a lot of people because I was not really aware of how those fees are collected. So the amenity fee is charged monthly, and it's charged by the villages. And you typically have that decremented from your checking or savings account by the villages. You work with the villages and you set up a automatic withdrawal from your checking account, typically. Your bond costs will show up on your property tax bill at the end of the year. You pay that directly to the county. The county collects it, and they forward that amount, less administrative fees, to the villages. And then it's the common area fees that also shows up on your property tax bill once a year. It's collected by the county. Small administration fee is taken out by the county, and it's forwarded on to the villages. So those are the fees that you need to consider when you buy a home, whether a new home or used home. Here in the villages, and I know I have been doing open house videos, and some of those spec sheets say that the bond is paid. What that means is the infrastructure on that home has been paid by previous owners. So you will not see that infrastructure bond fee show up as a non-ad valorem line item on your property tax bill. Those fees can typically range from $2,000 to $4,000 a year. the common area fee that shows up on your property tax bill. That fee typically doesn't go away. That will show up on your property tax bill as long as you own that home in the Villages. And those fees are subject to change depending on what the budgeting process at the Villages are for that year. They typically don't change very much. That common area fee doesn't change very much. The monthly amenity fee, that seems to change. You will hear stories about people talking about the monthly amenity fee changing. And that is part of your agreement when you buy a home in the Villages, whether it's new or used. You do sign an agreement that says you will pay an amenity fee. That amenity fee has an economic escalator clause in it. The Villages has the right to increase that amenity fee annually based on the consumer price index. That's an economic escalator clause. So the Villages is hedging their costs and passing essentially the inflationary costs onto the residents. And they can do that legally every year. And if I'm not mistaken, the Villages usually doesn't raise the amenity fee every year. They seem to make adjustments every other year. Although legally they have the right to change the amenity fee every year. It's quite an administrative burden to change those amenity fees every year. So I think the Villages tends to change those amenity fees every other year. I hope I answered some of your questions regarding roads and fees. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and liking my videos. I do appreciate it. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.